Today, I'm going to be ranking the top 5 roller coasters at Alton Towers. Well, the viewers are going to be ranking the top 5. Now, this is a video I made last August, and this does not include Nemesis, so don't come for us in the comments. Now, I asked the viewers for a top 5 in the comments, and this is how they got ranked. So every coaster that got first place, they would get 5 points. Second would get 4 points. Third would get 3 points. Fourth would get 2 points. And fifth, the bottom of the pile, would get 1 point. I looked at all of your comments and then added them points together, and I have now got the top 5 from you. Now in number 5, we have the Parks Family Drop Coaster. Now I'm pleased you guys put this in your top 5 because I believe it's one of the most underrated coasters at Alton Towers. People love it, however I still don't believe it gets enough recognition. The theming around it, the actual track, that drop at the top of the woods, honestly I love 13, it's one of my favourite coasters and it's only a family coaster as well. The drop never gets boring, especially if you're riding with someone who's never rid 13 before as well. And that entire backward section, the dock, what's not to love about 13. Now make sure you're not looking down because in number 4 we have Oblivion. When you see what's above this coaster in your lot's top 5, I am a little surprised. However, Oblivion, you can't beat that drop. Everybody knows about Oblivion. It's generations old and, you know, everyone loves it. Obviously located in X Sector, I've had the pleasure of riding Oblivion in the dark since I made that video, and I have to admit what an experience it was. Other than it being very cold up at the top. The only complaints to this coaster is that brake run, which is awful. And I mentioned it in the video. Yeah, it's a dreadful brake run. Now, just missing out on number 2 by 1 point. So it gets number 3rd spot is Galactica. Now, obviously, the park's flying coaster in Forbidden Valley desperately needs a re-theme. However, it is, again, another underrated coaster in my opinion. It did only get 5th in my coaster list, and had Nemesis been available, it wouldn't have made the top 5. However, it's still very good. And had it had a bit of extra theming, a jet wash, and maybe a different colour scheme, I would probably rate it higher. It's been a pleasure riding it throughout the entire year and seeing Nemesis to the left of it just being built as you're going up that lift hill. Again, the thing that lets Galactica down the most is the lack of theming. Add a bit of theming to that coaster and it automatically would be better, I imagine, on people's lists. Fingers crossed over the next few years, we'll get a re-theme of that entire coaster and it could be looking amazing and maybe one of the better coasters at the park as well. Now in second, we have Spinball Whizzer. How you thought? No, second place is Wicker Man. Now the park's wooden coaster, this is an extremely good coaster. I don't need to praise this because I imagine everyone watching this video loves Wicker Man. With it also being confirmed that this year they're turning back on the real fire, I'm so happy. The pre-show, even before the roller coaster, makes this 10 times better than it would be without the pre-show. We've also got canopies being built over as well, which should protect you from that beating sundown when you're just sitting in the busy queues, and also the rain that we get every single day in the UK at the moment. My only criticism for Wicker Man at the moment is I hope they do cut down some of the bushes and foliage around the queue line. Only because some of the signs that are actually you meant to be able to see, you can't, or you can't fully see them because of all the bushes that are overgrown. So fingers crossed they do cut them back this year. Another thing that I would like to see as well at Scarefest is the return of the scare zone, because that was great. And maybe even on some of the busier days, some Roman actors. I did speak about that on one of our previous videos. And obviously with the Pirates takeover, we are seeing more Roman actors. So on the busy days, it might be good to bring out some of the Wicker Man characters that we saw at the scare zone. Now, unsurprisingly, in number 1, you guys did put the 14 inversion coaster, the Smiler. I'm going to pain you with the soundtrack again. Sorry, not sorry. I did it in the last video as well. However, I can't argue against this. It was my number 1 in the top 5, and at Alton Towers, it would still be my number 1. Although some of them last inversions are a little rough, especially if you're on the back row, the airtime hill and just the overall coaster, 14 inversions. You know, I just don't see how it is at number 1. In fact, based on the point system, it actually finished 7 points clear with 20. Wicker Man did get 13. And in fact, over here, I'll put the entire top 5 points for you. Now, that is the viewers' top 5. Now, if you're a new viewer and you've just seen this, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments. It'll be interesting to hear what you've got to say about the viewers' top 5. Would your top 5 be similar? Again, this does not include Nemesis because it was not part of the 2023 season. However, I will be making an updated top 5 when Nemesis does open again for 2024, and it'll be interesting to see how this changes. Thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure you go check out the latest video if you want to see some more content from the channel. I talk about Galactica and the surrounding Forbidden Valley area and the future possibly of a Reef theme. Again, make sure you also subscribe, like, and turn that noti bell, and I will see you in the next one. The theme park season is very, very close, and I can't wait. Cheerio.